Pam Bondi was asked about this post in her recent press briefing, where she had this to say.
Elon Musk, who has enormous influence in the Trump administration, posted on X, quote, "There needs to be an immediate wave of judicial impeachments, not just one." As the Attorney General of the United States, how do you respond to that? Should the process work out in the courts before we talk about judicial impeachments? I mean, these are just TROs now at this time. Shouldn't these just play out?
Yeah, I haven't seen Elon Musk tweet. He is a friend of mine. He is a great man. I think he's very frustrated with what's happening in our federal government. You know, at USAID alone, they're giving out billions of dollars that should not be distributed. We're going to back him up. You know, we work our whole lives in this country, and we all pay taxes in this country. And for people to find out that $2 million is going to Guatemala for sex changes is outrageous. And we're going to back up Elon Musk every way we can. That includes lawsuits against these people who are doing that, and we will be successful.
Do you have concerns about judicial impeachments?
That's not going to happen now. We're going to look at everything. We're going to follow the law right now. We're going to follow the process. These are federal judges with lifetime appointments, but they will be struck down ultimately by the Supreme Court of the United States if the appellate courts don't follow the law as well.
So moving on, Prince Harry, he recently took aim at President Donald Trump. At least that's what it looked like. He used his opening speech at the Invictus Games to criticize weak moral character. Both he and Meghan Markle don't seem to be big fans of the president. And I think the feeling's mutual because this is what he had to say a few years ago regarding Harry.
Harry is whipped. Do you know the expression whipped?
I'm familiar with the phrase.
I won't use the full expression. But Harry is whipped like no person I think I've ever seen.
The most whipped man in the world.
I don't know, that's going to be a big one, but he is a whipped man.
Trump on his end has always had a respect for the royal family, which is why he said this early last year, criticizing Prince Harry for what he and Meghan Markle did to the Queen.
And I thought she was treated very disrespectfully by them. Very, very. She, you know, I would say, although she wouldn't show it because she was strong and smart, but I would imagine they broke her heart. The things that they were saying were so bad and so horrible. And she was in her 90s and hearing this stuff. I think they broke her heart.
No, it was horrible.
I think they really hurt her very
badly.
But
if he's lied on his visa form, doesn't the truth need to come out?
We'll have to.
Should he get special privileges that nobody else does?
No, and we'll have to see if they know something about the drugs, and if he lied, you'll have to take appropriate action.
Appropriate action?
Yeah.
Which might mean not staying
in
America.
I don't know. You'll have to tell me. You just have to tell me. You would have thought they would have known this a long time ago. But I thought they were very disrespectful to the family, to the royal family. I'm a big fan of the concept of the royal family and the royal family. Now, I'm a little prejudiced because I thought the Queen was incredible. I mean, think of it. All those years, 75 years, she's almost never made a mistake.
It's almost unbelievable.
Right? You know, I see politicians, they make mistakes every day. Biden, every day he makes a mistake.
Well, we all make mistakes.
He can't talk. He can't put two sentences together. She never made a mistake.
But despite this wall being between him and the prince, President Trump has already decided not to deport Prince Harry, although he didn't say it without actually giving him a parting jab at the same time. So here's his comment regarding Prince Harry's immigration status if he wants to take action. He says, "I don't want to do that. I'll leave him alone. He's got enough problems to deal with his wife. She's terrible. Now I want to address the war that's happening between Russia and the Ukraine, because it looks like the end is closer than we think, with President Donald Trump confirming that he's now talking to both parties."
President Trump says he spoke with the presidents of Russia and Ukraine in separate phone calls today.
Trump pushing for negotiations to start immediately to end the war between both countries.
All right, Fox 5's Sharon Crowley monitoring the breaking news that continues unfolding tonight. Sharon.
It sure does, Stephen. Natasha. In fact, we just heard from President Trump a few moments ago. More on that in a minute. As you said, President Trump speaking by phone with both Putin and Zelensky. The Trump administration posting on Truth Social that both foreign leaders want peace. Now, President Trump's push to end this war coming during a high-stakes meeting of America's European allies. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth telling leaders that the U.S. will not support Ukraine's bid to join NATO. More significantly, Hegseth says that the U.S. is pivoting the military away from Europe to focus on securing the southern border and confronting China in the Pacific. As I said, we just heard from President Trump speaking about the war between Russia and Ukraine just moments ago. You're going to hear from him, and then right after that, you will hear from the Defense Secretary.
President Putin said that he wants it to end. He doesn't want to end it and then go back to fighting 6 months later. We talked about the possibility, I mentioned it, of a ceasefire so we can stop the killing, and I think we'll probably end up at some point getting a ceasefire in the not-too-distant future.
Our message is clear. The bloodshed must stop, and this war must end. He intends to end this war by diplomacy and bringing both Russia and Ukraine to the table. We must start by recognizing that returning to Ukraine's pre-2014 borders is an unrealistic objective. Chasing this illusionary goal will only prolong the war and cause more suffering.
Ending this war could be the cherry on top for President Trump's first few weeks in office. This goes along with his incredibly high approval rating, with many Americans content with him delivering on promises. Now, I want to redirect you to another live stream I did, one wherein I discussed a pastor who's trying to incite violence against Elon Musk. You're going to want to watch that one because you're not going to believe the reason that he gave for saying this.
We're here today because we have filed charges against the state of New York. We have filed charges against Kathy Hochul. We have filed charges against Letitia James and Mark Schroeder, who is with DMV.
U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi makes a bombshell announcement with regards to the state of New York. President Donald Trump gives his take on the possible deportation of Prince Harry amidst his visa issues. The Department of Justice responds to the calls of Elon Musk to impeach biased judges. And rumors are swirling of peace between Russia and the Ukraine as President Trump talks to both. Now, we have a lot to go through today, so let's get started with AG Pam Bondi. By the way, appreciate y'all hitting the like button. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel.
President Trump's Attorney General Pam Bondi holding her first press conference at the Department of Justice just within the past hour here. Lots of questions on this one. New York, though, very clearly her next target regarding immigration policies.
We have filed charges against Kathy Hochul. We have filed charges against Letitia James and Mark Schroeder, who is with DMV. New York has chosen to prioritize illegal aliens over American citizens. It stops today.
The charges coming nearly 1 week after the Justice Department sued Chicago, Cook County, and the state of Illinois as well over its sanctuary city policies.
Now, I want to remind you guys what brought this on, because this wasn't provoked. In fact, AG Letitia James basically taunted the Trump administration to go after her and other officials in New York.
Democratic state attorneys general have been preparing for this moment for over the past 9 months. This election was not the outcome that we wanted, but nonetheless, here we are.
New York State Attorney General Tish James says if President Trump goes after the sanctuary city of New York, she's prepared to fight. The feds have already filed suit against Chicago and the state of Illinois. The charge, obstructing the immigration crackdown.
We have been preparing strategy, looking at the law, analyzing Project 2025, looking at jurisdiction, looking at venue, and we are prepared to respond to defend the sovereignty of the state of New York.
The tough talk from James comes as the Trump administration leads sweeps around the country.
Come in and check.
A doorbell camera showed agents in a Denver apartment complex.
Hey, how you doing? Hold on, boss. Good. I'm knocking on the door. You're good. How long have you been living?
While Tish James is promising a court fight if necessary, Mayor Adams has taken a different approach. He restated a policy that may have helped him avoid a Trump lawsuit, his determination to help ICE get criminals out of New York.
Those who commit violent crimes, acts that I say over and over again, no matter who they are, documented or undocumented, we do not want them on the streets of New York.
This tough bravado from James, it can only last so long. That's because Pam Bondi is cut from a different cloth. Hey, by the way, guys, if you're one of the real ones who really enjoy what we do here on the channel, you've got to check out the Inner Circle. This is where our true supporters get exclusive access to content that I just can't share here, completely commercial free. It's also the best way to keep this channel going strong. So if you want to be a part of something special, join us over there. Links in the description or in the pinned comment down below. The Attorney General personally removing portraits of former President Joe Biden, former Vice President Kamala Harris, and former Attorney General Merrick Garland from the Justice Department's walls. Pam Bondi said it was so ridiculous that these were still hanging nearly 3 weeks into President Trump's second term. And I'm not saying that she ordered the portraits to be removed. She herself personally got the portraits off the walls. New York on its end hasn't responded to those charges. Although A.V. Small, a spokesperson for Governor Kathy Hochul of New York, had this this to say. Governor Hochul has been clear from day one. She supports deporting violent criminals who break our laws. She believes that law-abiding families should not be targets and will coordinate with federal authorities who have a judicial warrant. Now, Pam Bondi says that they're going to see what people do next, saying that they don't actually want to sue these officials and they don't want to prosecute people. They just want them to comply with the law. Now, on that note, guys, Elon Musk, he proposed on his X account that the worst 1% of appointed judges, as determined by elected bodies, be fired every year. Now, this comes after Elon Musk was blocked from having access to Treasury payment systems by a judge. He believes that this move was corrupt. I believe it too. What do you guys think? You think that that move by the judge blocking Elon Musk and the Doge team from being able to have read-only access to the Treasury Department data was corrupt? Let me know, guys. Elon Musk believes that this was mostly put in place to stop Doge from doing his job. So